What's up, beautiful people? Thank you for joining your boy Marquise here on a little toy talk, a little conversation. Man, I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but there's so much stuff coming out. It's literally driving me crazy. So yes, there are a lot of things coming out, and there are a lot of things that I personally want to own. You've got the Thundercats and the Motu crossover that's getting ready to drop soon. There's some new figures that are coming out from Monster Force that are on pre-order. The Gamerverse stuff from Marvel, Slice and Dice from Hasbro, the G.I. Joe. So many things are dropping. We want to collect it all. And I know for me, sometimes it just feels overwhelming. As long as I've been in this space, or since I've come back into this space, it seems like they're just coming out with new stuff almost ad nauseum. They figured out as toy creators that you can target adult collectors because now we have disposable income and we'll pretty much buy anything. Well, that's not necessarily true. We won't buy anything, but we'll buy a lot of things. I remember when I started collecting the first go around back in the early 2000s. For me personally, I was just buying a lot of retro and old stuff. I was really into the 1995, 92-ish Toy Biz style figures from X-Men that reminded me of my childhood and some of the Marvel Legends that were coming out at the time. That was about it. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on. But fast forward to where we're at now in 2025, it's just like stuff is coming out every day. You got SUH figure arts and anime figures. You've got resin statues and hot toys. You've got Transformers being dropped, not just the old stuff. So the question is, how do we keep up with it all? What do we do? I know for me what's starting to happen is that I'm having to go through my collection and get rid of some things. Now, everybody can collect different and do their own thing, but I know what works for me. Personally, I want to be able to display the vast majority of the things that I own, or if it's not displayed at a given time, I want it to be something that I think I will possibly put on display. There are a lot of figures that I have that are sitting in bins. Now, for me as an individual, I have a set number of bins that I want to have for my toys, and I do not want to exceed that number of bins. Once I get to that many bins and things are just stored and sitting away, for me, the way that I'm working and the way that I'm set up, it's time for me to look at some stuff. Do I want to keep this? Is this something I'm going to display? Is it something I'm going to like or even enjoy? And if not, it's time for me to get rid of it and move it on to another collector and let them enjoy it. Or I shouldn't say or, I should say, and maybe make a little cash, you know what I'm saying? And see if I can support this hobby or habit in the future. You know what I mean? Because they're just dropping things left and right and holding on to stuff that's not on display and bringing me enjoyment from looking at it. And it's not making me any money because it's just hiding away in the bin. For me, it doesn't make sense. So I started going through my collection. I was looking at a couple of things that I just had hidden back, and I'm trying to do a better job. This is something else I'm trying to do a better job at. I don't just want to buy stuff because it's on sale, and I'm really not into the toy speculation and stuff like that. Like buying something because I think it'll be worth more in the future. That's not really my jam. I know that some people do get into toy speculation. It's not necessarily for me. It's hard to really speculate on toys. And the other thing about toys in terms of toy speculation to me is that the technology with toy making and toy creation and coloring and all of that stuff, it's improving, right? So some of the old stuff doesn't maintain its value because from a technological standpoint, it doesn't meet the same standards as the new stuff. I'll give you a case in point. Some of the old Marvel Legends, while they were the gold standard for a long time, when Toy Biz still had them before they became Hasbro, it's seeming to me like the prices are dropping because those figures look good for that time, but they don't necessarily look as good compared to the figures that you can get today. And the prices to me seem to be finally coming down a little bit. So I don't know. It's just not my jam. I'm not saying every now and then I won't get something like, maybe I can flip this or get a couple of bucks or make a little something off of it. But speculating on toys, I don't necessarily know if that's the best way to go. I feel like this is a hobby or habit that you get into because it's something that you enjoy and it's something that you want to do with other people, not necessarily to make money. Now, with that said, two sides of the same coin. I'm not knocking anybody for buying something, trying to flip it, make a couple of bucks and keep it going. That's okay too. But to go out and buy a $25 action figure and, I'm gonna sell this figure for $300, like, come on, man. Like, that kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit. Not knocking you for making a little bread. Like, if you go to the store, you buy the figure, you put it online, you got to ship it out, you got to pay a shipping fee. If you do it on something like eBay, for me, for example, I don't think that I'm getting as much of the new stuff here in Arkansas that some other guys are getting. I'm not seeing a lot of the retro carded G.I. Joe figures right now, right? Like, my Walmarts are not carrying G.I. Joes anymore. And Targets around here in my area, they seem to all be going through a remodel. So they're literally not putting any new stuff on the shelf. So with that said, if I want something now, I don't mind paying a bit of a premium. A standard G.I. Joe classified costs about $25. So if I get online and it's something that I want, somebody charges $35, $40 for it, and it's a figure that I really want, sure. They make a couple extra dollars for their time for doing it, shipping and all of that stuff. That doesn't bother me. But a $25 figure, paying $80 for something that'll just be reproduced in the not too distant future, that's not really my jam. But hey, I'm not knocking others who do it, and I'm not knocking anybody who wants to pay for it. You do what makes you happy. That's the wonderful thing about this hobby. It can be something that makes you happy and something that you enjoy. So again, going back to what I was saying, like how I'm going to support myself moving forward and what I plan on doing, I've been going through my collection and just pulling some things out and looking at some stuff. And like, some of this stuff is just stuff that I can get rid of that I know I'm not going to put on display. And I've got some figures up here that I'm probably going to get rid of as well. For example, that Age of Apocalypse run through X-Men with the Build-A-Figure for Colossus. I really wanted the Colossus Build-A-Figure, but there were a lot of figures that were in that run that I just did not want. So we might be getting rid of some of those figures and just sending them to somewhere else. I'm not gonna try to make much on them. Heck, I'm not gonna make probably anything on them. If somebody wants them, if I can sell them and move them around, I'm gonna let them go. I don't necessarily know if I want that Cyclops, him with the long hair and the one eye, not really my jam. If I can get $5 for him, so be it. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff like that, that's what I'm moving on from. So, we'll see what happens. Like, I got something else right here that's on eBay that I'll be getting rid of. The Captain Atom Gold Label. I got lucky and found this guy for $11 at Walmart. And so it was an impulse buy. I grabbed Captain Atom, said, give him to me, $11. I'm going to put him with my Justice League figures. And guess what? He's been sitting in a bin for almost a year. Somebody would love to have Captain Atom, and he is going for like $35 or $40 online. So I will put him online at the original price and see if it's something that I can get rid of. That's just kind of where I stand with it. Like, why hold on to the stuff that I know I'm not going to put on display, especially when there's so much new stuff coming out? So that would be my suggestion for a lot of people. Another thing about me, when it comes to the toy room, I really like to maintain a clean, walkable space in my toy room. I've gotten to the point at times where I've had stuff all on the floor. I couldn't really move around. I didn't have the space to really work or pose or take any photos or anything like that. So for me, there are times when I'm going to have to get rid of stuff out of the collection just because I like for my space to be clean and decluttered. I want to be able to enjoy my figures. I want to enjoy the work that I put into this, and having stuff all over the floor, it doesn't work for me. Not knocking what anybody else does, not knocking anybody else's setup. I just want to do things in a way that allows me to enjoy what I have. So There are things that I'm going to be going through, putting online, trying to sell, make a couple of bucks, because there are definitely some figures coming out that I have got to get my hands on. Side note, I actually was able to get my pre-order through Big Bad Toy Store for the Captain America Venom figure, and boom, your boy is stoked about that. So yeah, very excited about that. So with all the pre-orders that I got coming up, with everything that I'm looking at getting, we finna unload some figs. Consider doing the same. Remember to get off the couch, go hit those pegs, and buy that toy. Until next time, your boy will get at you later. Peace.